Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another edition of Chaos in Southwest Nebraska. So, we are approaching week 18 of the NFL season. Used to be the final weekend was week 17, but it's week 18, which means teams will be playing their 17th game to get the seeding ready for a 7-team per conference playoff. And I really don't like either one, and I'm going to tell you why. The old system was a 16 game, 17 week regular season. 16 games. You kind of got a break in the middle, collect your bearings, get ready for the downhill slide. You still do. And then a 6-team playoff, you know, 4 division winners, 2 wild cards, 2 teams getting a bye. It's not like that anymore. Now it's 17 games, 7 teams per conference, 4 division winners, 3 wild cards, and only 1 team gets a bye. Now, first, the regular season, while I like the old way better, 16 games just seemed like the right amount. The 17, by the time the 16th game was played, about the time regular season fatigue was starting to set in, it's playoff time, it's urgency, and you're ready to go, even as a fan. This 17th week, it just seems like, oh man, can't the playoffs just start already? And on top of it, even with the 16 game schedule, the last week, there's so many meaningless games. I mean, they're not all meaningless, they're still vying for position and everything. But a lot of these games are meaningless. And it just seemed like a lot of the games last weekend were meaningless. I mean, it just kind of stretched out the meaningless games. I mean, the premier game is Raiders Chargers Sunday night, and if somehow the Colts lose that game, it's all of a sudden meaningless because they're both in the playoffs. I mean, I guess they'd be playing for a seed, I think, but other than that, it just stretches it out. There's more regular season fatigue again and more meaningless games. And I don't like the 7-team playoff. I mean, before, you had 37% making the playoffs, and now 44% of the teams make the playoffs, which is still less than 50% like basketball and hockey do. So their playoffs are almost completely meaningless the first round. But now you got more teams, and that first round bye is really important. And now only 1 team gets it. I think the top 2 teams should get it. When if you're one of the top 2 teams, you earned that bye. Now, half the division winners got the bye before. Now only 25% get it, the 1 team. So, not a fan. I mean, it's an extra game opening weekend, and I know it's more revenue for the NFL and everything, but it doesn't stretch the playoffs out a weekend. And I don't really want it stretched out a weekend because that would just mean half the teams in the league would be making the playoffs, which I don't want to see, and water it down even more. When baseball went to that 1 game wild card, it really watered down their playoffs. So, not a fan. And like I said, those are my 2 reasons. The 2 big ones is why I like the old format. Regular season fatigue, like all the other sports have too many games. And now it seems like the NFL is approaching too many games. And, you know, just too many teams making the playoffs. Also, let's face it, whatever team is the 7th seed in either conference, yeah, they might get an upset, but let's face it, they're not going to be a Super Bowl contender anyways. So I think we need to go back the old way. Sometimes less is more. Less games, less playoff teams. It's just better. Let's go back to that way, NFL. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and have a good day. And Chaos in Southwest Nebraska out.